Welcome back to Boot Camp the Offense. I'm your host, Stephen Willis, alongside Hillwood High School football coach, offensive coordinator extraordinaire, Corey Burton. How you doing today, Corey?
I'm great, man. It's another nice day in quarantine, but you know what? We're not going to worry about that because we're here and we're positively, keyword emphasis on positive, we're positively Ole Miss. So I'm looking forward to it. I hope you enjoyed our boot camps. And Steve, we got another great episode for the people. Just hit that subscribe button if you like it. Hit that bell notification. You can follow me on Twitter at Coach Burton36, and you can follow Steve at
the Stephen Willis.
There you go.
Also follow the podcast at Ole Positively on Twitter. Yeah, we're doing that now.
Oh,
and
we're
moving up in the world. Subscribe, like you said, on YouTube. We're available on all the podcatchers. Give us a review. It doesn't matter what you say. Just give us 5 stars. And I think that's about it for that. That's full. We did the house cleaning. What we're going to do here is we're going to talk about personnel finally. We've gone through the Ole Miss offense as it should look from Lane Kiffin, and now we're going to get into personnel a little bit. And we're going to start with the question that all of you have, the quarterback position. And the battle between John Rice Plumlee and Matt Corral. We also have Grant Tisdale. We have Kincaid Dent. So it's kind of interesting. I fully recommend you going back to watch 2017 FAU for an idea of what this offense will look like. That can't be overstated enough.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. I think it'll give you an idea of what Kiffin's going to ask of his quarterbacks. And then when you look back at the season highlights and you check out Plumlee, you check out Corral, and you kind of try to guesstimate on the other guys. But it's really going to come down to those two. And you kind of see what skill sets fit in with what Kiffin wants to do, which is the Baylor version of the spread attack. So I guess I don't know how you would classify it in that regard with adjectives like spread, air raid, power raid. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think it is so much spread, although they're doing it out of the shotgun and the spread offense, but it's more tempo at this point than spread. So let's do what we're doing, keep it simple, and move as quickly as we can.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. It's just tough to classify because they do so many things. And they do so many different things. But I guess the crux of it is the tempo, and that's kind of where they get you. But let's dive into the quarterback, Steve. I watched a lot of Ole Miss lately, and they're starting to become my team of the West, to be honest with you. But as I was going through, I noticed when I was evaluating the quarterbacks, John Rice Plumlee, and I evaluated Matt Corral, and I decided that they were both really good, and I would take either one of them as a quarterback. If John Rice Plumlee didn't exist and said, "Hey, I just want to hang it up and go play baseball," I feel pretty good about what Matt Corral could do. However, that's not the case. So I really think when game 1 rolls around, John Rice Plumlee is going to be your number 1 quarterback. I think that's going to happen, and mainly because I think he just has a lot of poise in the pocket. In the quick game, which is a big part of the passing game for Lane Kiffin's offense, I think he is a great rhythm thrower. He catches and fires it out where it needs to go, and he can typically put the ball on a dime from those catch and release type throws. He's a great runner. He's not fast. I mean, he's fast, but he's not like lightning electric fast. He's just he's so great at running the option, at not only the fake. Well, he's great at the fake. He's great at the mesh point. He's got good eyes, a good understanding of what his read keys are doing, and then he just takes off. I mean, he's a good runner. Now, Matt Corral is kind of more of a sudden runner than John Rice Plumlee, but Plumlee just finds those spots in the defense where it just looks like there's nobody around him. And he's just that's part of the option game is, you look at your great option quarterbacks. I mean, if you want to even dive into flexbone type stuff, you look at Keenan Reynolds and how he's able to run the option so well. He rides that ball in there to the last possible second, and then if it's time to pull, he's pulling. And that's what John Rice Plumlee does. And then I noticed, another factor to consider is that John Rice Plumlee plays two Division I sports, football at the position that he's at, and baseball that require you to put the ball on a dime. So, that has to have something to do with this, Steve.
Yeah. What do you see in John Rice Plumlee's passing game that shows like he can improve? He has the ability to do this at a higher level than people have seen to this point.
Well, I think I think his ability to understand the concepts. I think when I saw him over the course of the season, he developed more poise in the pocket. I think, anybody under pressure is going to make mistakes and throw bad balls. Every quarterback's going to throw a bad ball every once in a while. I mean, look at the Joe Burrow. He's the number one quarterback in the NFL draft. He throws bad balls every once in a while. Tua can be wild. I mean, they all can be wild, so that's not an issue. But, I just think he's got a great release. The ball comes really, really well off his hand. He's got a good, short, compact delivery as a quarterback, which being a baseball player you worry about. And I just think he's able to get in a rhythm. He's a good rhythm thrower, and he can catch, throw, and release. And he's really good at and he's really accurate. He's very, very accurate.
Tell us a little bit about what you saw from Matt Corral too. Let's not forget about him.
Okay. Well, Matt Corral is really great at throwing the ball on the run. Just about every pass, I watched the highlight of him versus Arkansas, and just about every completion, I think maybe even every completion, he was moving. He's not one that's going to sit in the pocket and deliver the ball all around the yard. He's going to be pushing the pocket. He's going to be throwing from different angles and arm slots. He really does a good job of contorting his body to get as much power and whip on the ball as he can. I mean, he throws some balls into some tight windows, which is impressive. And he's a very, very sudden runner. And he's better and he's more elusive in the pocket than John Rice Plumlee. He just doesn't like to stay in the pocket. Sometimes he runs from pressure that isn't there. But I would say as a passer, if you're going to use Matt Corral, I think now I'm gonna tread lightly here because you never want to advocate for a 2-quarterback system, but there's always a place, and I think we're going to do this at Hillwood maybe. We're going to look at it at least. There's a place for somebody like Matt Corral to have a package of plays where he comes in and he has maybe 5 plays that he can run. He has a few options here, a couple sprint outs and some things like, especially if they get down in the red zone, or if they get bogged down, or if they just need a spark, or if they just need some sort of, just something that they're not getting, they can throw Matt Corral in there and run him around and put him on the move and then put Plumlee back in and just see if that creates a spark and just see if that, I don't know, ignites the offense a little bit. But, I think that he would be perfect in that role. I think he would be perfect. Unfortunately, he doesn't fit as well in Kiffin's offense, in my opinion. He's more of kind of like, I think he'd be perfect at Tulane for somebody like, God, I'm drawing a blank on his name.
Willie Fritz? Yeah,
Willie Fritz. That's it. I don't know why I draw a blank. I've talked about him a ton, but he would be great in an offense like that. He'd be probably pretty good at down the road in Starkville. He would be great at Florida. I think he would be good at South Carolina, but I think anywhere but Ole Miss, in Alabama and Georgia, I think he would fit in quite nice.
Okay, and talking about the system fit for each quarterback, go over what you mean by that.
System fit. Okay, so if you listen to our boot camp, I'll summarize it very, very in a very quick manner. The system fit means that the skill set that is required of the quarterback position within the offense that is going to be implemented by Lane Kiffin is what I'm talking about. So the skill set that you need as a quarterback in this offense is you need to be a good enough runner. It doesn't rely on the quarterback being an elite runner. It relies on him being able to make the appropriate reads and make the defense pay. All right. Both quarterbacks check that box. Okay. It requires you to be a good catch and throw, quick game passer, which advantage goes to John Rice Plumlee. It requires good mesh fakes in the option. So running the option game, it requires a good mesh. And I think maybe Matt Corral might be a little bit more impatient than Plumlee, but they both check that box. They're both good in the option game. They both really ride the fakes, really ride the mesh points to the point of where the defense gets a little bit confused. And then, of course, you have to have poise in the pocket, and you have to be able to deliver the deep ball, which I think Plumlee is better at the deep ball than Corral. And that's going to be like the rhythm throws and the vertical shot plays. I think Plumlee has the advantage over Corral on that. Those are the two biggest points, and as a system fit.
Yeah, and as Corral would have the advantage for like the 15-yard out to the wide side of the field just because of the arm strength.
Yes, he would. He would, and I think he would have the advantage if they got into a game where it was like strictly option and it was like they were peppering you and forcing you to move the pocket and stuff. I think if there was ever a part of that system where they would have to call on that particular skill set, Corral would fit in. But I think overall, in the grand scheme of things, with the collection of skills that you need would fit John Rice Plumlee the best.
Okay. Well, there you go. That is Boot Camp the Offense. Corey Burton talking a little personnel now with the quarterback. We're going to move on to the running back tomorrow or later this week. And we're going to go over Jerry and Ely, who has very much Devin Singletary vibes about him. He's just a young Devin Singletary. So stay tuned for that.
Very, very sudden. I really like what he has to offer. There's a lot of runs where he just kind of squirts out of the pile, and then next thing you know, he's shot out of a cannon. So I really, really, really like where Ole Miss's running backs are going. This is going to be a key in this offense too. You know, what kind of running backs do you have? And Ole Miss is looking very promising with this situation. So stay tuned to that because I'm excited about the running back position.
Yeah, they seem to be pretty well put together. There's the quarterback position. Corey Burton is on the JRP train. And basically subscribe to the YouTube channel, listen on the podcatchers, hit the bell on the YouTube channel, hit the bell on SoundCloud, and you will be good to go. Do you have anything else to add?
No, I mean, I think as an Ole Miss fan, this is very, very promising times. I think that Lane Kiffin, even though it didn't jump out of the page as being the greatest hire of all time on paper, but I think in time, this will be kind of one of those hires where you're like, wow, this is a game changer, because given all the shenanigans that Lane Kiffin has gone through, the guy can coach some football. You know, the guy has learned a lot about the coaching game, and I think he's learned a lot about who he is, what his identity is, just kind of what mistakes he made in the past. And I think he's going to be even better this time around in the SEC, and I think he's coming into a loaded roster that of hungry players that are looking to make some noise, and I think that Ole Miss is going to benefit from that. So I'm very excited to watch this Ole Miss team. I can't really ever say that I've said that much in the past because just I don't know. I haven't said it since Eli Manning for sure. But even though, Steve, I gave you a hard time about Eli Manning, but he was very exciting. Those Ole Miss teams were very exciting to watch. So Ole Miss, understand you got a good one. Understand you got to be patient, as we illustrated in episode 1 of the boot camp where we looked at FAU versus Navy. There's going to be a lot of timing stuff that's going to happen. So there's going to be a lot of mistakes. It's going to seem like John Rice Plumlee couldn't start for the local Oxford high school team. So just keep that in mind. Be patient, okay, and it will all pay off. And
basically, I will put on a link below in the YouTube video, the link to the 2017 North Texas film from FAU. Mm-hmm. But other than that, man, congratulations and on the promotion offensive coordinator, and you're doing good things, and I'm just really excited about what we're doing here.
All right. I appreciate you, Steve, and we're looking forward to a successful 2020 season. coming up here at Hillwood. So hopefully we can make some noise in the region and capitalize on some things that we grew on last year, because we were a very young team last year. So hopefully we can grow on that.